I'm Vanessa Canby, and in this video I'm going to be answering your questions about my move from Scotland to Ghana. Thank you for sending your questions in underneath the moving to Ghana video, but also I did a call out on Instagram, and thanks everyone for responding. If you're not already following me on Instagram, head over there, it's just at Vanessa Canby, and also please do subscribe to this channel, so just hit that subscribe button and press the bell so you're notified every time I make an upload. There was so many questions sent in. I was actually shocked that people had so many questions and some really good ones. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through them all, but I'll try. Also, if you have any additional questions, feel free to write them in the description box and I will get to them in another video. So the first question that came through was, what do you do about mosquitoes and malaria prevention? So obviously there is malaria here in Ghana. And when I used to come on holiday, I would always take anti-malarials because I would be coming for a week and a half, and I definitely didn't want to get malaria. So this time round, obviously we're living here now, and if you look in the sort of booklets of these anti-malarials, they say that you shouldn't take them for over a certain amount of time. So we aren't taking any anti-malarials. I also still don't want to get malaria, so we take the preventative measures of making sure that mosquitoes don't get into the house. There's mosquito nets over all the windows, the doors. As soon as we open the door, close it straight away. I make sure that my kids don't really go outside after 5 o'clock because that's when the mosquitoes start coming out. I always spray them and myself with a natural mosquito repellent if I'm going outside after that time. Also, you know, wearing long trousers and long sleeves, especially for my kids. My kids have actually never had a mosquito bite yet, which is quite impressive because we've been here now for 1 month. I, however, have had mosquito bites, but they've all pretty much been at night, or if I've been filming somewhere that's quite dark and has mosquitoes inside, that has been the times when I've like faced mosquitoes. But I'm very conscious that like if any of us ever got a temperature or any signs of malaria, I would be straight to the pharmacy to get the medication because it is no joke. But I also think there's, you know, a lot of ways to try and prevent that from happening. The next question is my husband happy about the move to Ghana? Yes, he is very happy. He is absolutely loving it here. Maybe one day he will come on and tell you himself. But yeah, no, he is really, really enjoying himself, as I knew he would do, to be honest. Is it easy to make friends and have my kids made friends? I would actually say that it is easy to make friends depending on the sort of person that you are. As for my kids, they have made some great friends already. Some of them are my friends' kids, but also friends that they have met themselves. For example, our neighbours who they're friends with, and they are French, and they actually have a nanny who is French, which is so great because the kids are learning French at school and they can also kind of speak French together. This actually brings us on to my sponsor for this video, which is Rosetta Stone. I'm sure you've heard me speak about them in previous videos, but I am a big advocate for learning languages, and so I am actually trying to learn a bit of French myself. Rosetta Stone is one of the leading language learning platforms, and it uses immersion, so it makes it a really fun experience to learn a language. There's pictures and then the words, and you can like drag them together. I'll give you a quick demonstration of the app.
Veuillez mettre ceci.
Veuillez mettre ceci. So that is one of my favorite features, is that it speaks to you and you speak it back, and it gives you a rating on how good your pronunciation is, or you know, if you've got it right. Rosetta Stone has this great deal on at the moment where you can get Rosetta Stone Lifetime for $179, and that includes all of their languages on the app and over 250 hours of learning, which is actually so great. You can also get access to the phrase book, which is like the words you might need like in the moment if you're out and about. And if you're interested in that, please head over to the description below and press the link. The next question is, how much did it cost to make the move? It was very expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think it has to be. Like, because of the way that we did it and the choices that we made, it made it expensive, but you could make different choices. For example, one expense was shipping things from Scotland to Ghana. I spent approximately £2,000 shipping different things over here. And a lot of that was so that my kids could feel comfortable and they could bring a lot of their things. There wasn't many of my own things that I say that, but there was some things that probably didn't need to come, basically. And then another expense was the rent. So some places here require 6 months up front, a year up front, although it's actually illegal to do a year up front, but ours was 6 months up front. So our rent wasn't cheap, so I had to pay 6 months of that up front. The next thing was the school fees. Because of the time of year that we joined the school, we had to pay the remainder of the semester up front. So that was another expense. They were the main expenses. Oh, and the car. That was another expense. So actually, all in all, it was a lot of money, but I knew that that's what it would take for us to get here. The next question is, are you able to find things that make the move comfortable for your family, e.g. favorite cereals, right? And if you've not already seen a video that I made previously about supermarkets in Accra, you will see that there is several supermarkets like Maxmart, Koala, Melcom, etc. that have everything that you can get at home. It will be at a cost, but you can actually get anything that you can get at home. There's not one thing that I've thought, oh, I really want that I can't find here. Somebody asked, what is my Ghanaian name? It's actually nothing to do with this question, but it is Akuya. I was born on a Wednesday. Where are you? How are my kids settling into their new school? So I think moving schools is a really big deal and it takes time to settle in. We've been here for 4 weeks now, but they've actually only really been in school for 2 weeks. So that is a pretty short amount of time to kind of like, you know, make a decision on how they're settling in. But I think that I'm personally really, really happy with the school. And I do think that, you know, both the kids are really going to enjoy it, and they are enjoying it so far. When they come out of school, they're absolutely buzzing and really happy about the day. Sometimes going in can be a bit like of apprehension, but I think that is expected in these early days. So the next question is, will me and my family go for a Ghanaian nationality now that we live here? So I already am a national of the country, and yes, the next step is to get the rest of the family that status as well. So another question is about healthcare and healthcare insurance. So I'm actually going to take out a healthcare insurance plan, but not everybody does that. Some people either pay when they have, you know, an issue that they want to do, but I would rather just have the peace of mind that, you know, it's there if I need it, because I'm very used to the NHS, the National Health Service in Scotland, in the UK. And so I think here, I just want to have that security that, you know, some things are covered in case of any eventuality. Somebody said, how do I feel about Dumsor? And if anybody knows what that is when the light goes out, when the electricity goes out. So we are living in a place that has a generator. So if the light goes out, no joke, about 5 seconds later, the generator comes on. So we have seconds of light out and then we have a generator that comes on. So it's not an issue for me personally, but I do know that, you know, if you don't have a generator, it can become an issue, especially with the internet, if you have to use the internet for something. But then you could just use your phone to stream to your internet. I mean, there's obviously wider issues with that as a whole for the general society of the country, and I think that it's something that should definitely be addressed. So somebody else asked, did I move my furniture from Scotland to Ghana, or did I get it made here? So my sister helped so much, and pretty much everything that is in our house is locally made. Actually, everything you can see in this video, but also generally in the house. I'm going to show you all the furniture in another video, but is locally made, and like to the beds, to the desks, everything. My sister did such a great job. It wasn't easy for her. She had to obviously like be on top of the workmen and the workwomen that were making the things, but we got it done, and I'm so glad that we were able to actually put money back into the local economy rather than just shipping over our furniture. Also, shipping over furniture is so expensive, and the locally made furniture here is really, really nice, great quality. So I don't think there would be any point in doing that. Another question is, am I not scared about the level of education for my children? Absolutely not. I have so many friends that were grown up in Ghana and went to school here who are, you know, lawyers, doctors, really smart in all sorts of professions. I say lawyers and doctors like I'm not even a lawyer and doctor. You know, videographers, different professions that have had a great level of education and have got into amazing universities, you know, if that's what you're about. So I have no issues with the level of education that my kids are getting. And obviously I chose a school accordingly to the level of education that I would be happy with. But also there's so many great schools here in Accra and in Ghana as a whole. Do I regret anything about moving? Absolutely not. I don't have one regret. I don't even really think about my life. I'm the sort of person that moves forward and looks forward. I don't really look back. So I do not regret anything about our move. I am so happy to be here. Why don't I show my family on my channel? So I just think that, you know, I actually used to do sort of family videos with the kids, but I'm now at a point where I just don't think that they have, you know, the maturity yet or the level of consciousness to make that decision that they definitely want to be online, because it's not for everyone. And there's no way that my 4-year-old daughter really knows what comes with putting yourself out there to like thousands and thousands of people. So until they're at that age where they can make that decision themselves, I think, but you know, who knows, like I might change my mind. I am human after all, but for now, that's just the way that I'm going with it. How long do I plan to stay in Ghana? So as I said previously, my husband's taken a year career break. So we are giving it a year and then reassessing it in a year. But personally, I would be here forever. So let's just see how it goes. What's the one thing I'll miss about Edinburgh? So I don't really miss much. As I said, like I don't really look back, but also I'm gonna be there pretty soon. Like we're going to be going back to visit family soon for the kids to see their friends and all that sort of thing. So it's not like I'm not going back anytime soon. But I think the one thing, being able to walk places. Where we live, there's no pavement outside of the house. So I walk to the shop, but I'm walking on the road and I'm right beside a gutter. So it's not necessarily safe. That is one thing that I really like, to be able to walk to the shop. There is some areas here in Accra that you can walk and go places. I think Airport has quite a few pavements, cantonments. But the thing is, like, they do end. Like, I've even walked in these areas and you get to a point and the pavement ends. The next question is, why Accra and why not the countryside? So this is something that I've also kind of been weighing up in my head. I would say that I probably am like a city dweller, although I would love to sort of live around nature. But my kids' school is in Accra. I work a lot with different companies and in different establishments that are in Accra, and I just don't want to be sitting in traffic for the rest of my life. And I know that if I lived somewhere outside, I would be in so much traffic. And I just don't think it's fair for the kids or, you know, for me to be just in traffic all the time, basically. So it makes sense for now to be here, but it would be great to have like a second home outside of Accra that we could spend the weekends at. Somebody else said, how do I deal with water cuts? So I think that's something that I wasn't really expecting, but I also wasn't really surprised about at the same time. But what I do is the difference, one major difference here is you have to like turn on your hot water heater to heat the water, and then you turn it off and then you go in the shower or whatever. So if I've turned on the hot water heater, that water's in the water heater and it's heated. So even if there is a water cut, there's normally still hot water. But if not that, we also have a poly tank that is filled with water. So if there's a water cut, we do still have water. But the other day we had an issue with the pump for the water tank, and so it wasn't coming out. So we didn't really have water, but it only lasted like until they fixed the water pump. So it maybe lasted an hour and it was all right. How did I choose on the area to rent? So I chose my kids' school first, and then I chose a house in that area because I just thought, like, again, I don't want my kids to be sitting in traffic forever, and traffic can be quite bad in Accra. Do I think that Ghana is affordable? I think that it can be so affordable, but it depends on the way that you want to live, where you want to live, how you want to shop, how you want to eat. Because If you want to go out to like the 5-star restaurants, live in certain areas, you know, your kids go to certain schools, you shop in places that sell like dairy milk, for example, Cadbury's, then it's going to be very expensive. But if you want to shop in the market, live in like a compound house or outside of Accra, honestly, like I also did a video before, one of my drivers, his rent was 150 cedis a month. So that is like, it's around $25 a month. And then you can shop at the market for way, way less than that. So I just think that it can be affordable, but I would say that the way that I'm living and the things that I'm doing and the places, all those things makes it not much different to living in the UK. Or sometimes things can even be more expensive, but I'd say it's pretty much comparable. Am I missing Scottish weather? Are you actually joking? I love the heat so much. Like I sit without the AC on. I don't really like cold, so I don't know why would I come and put the AC on and sit in a cold room. I mean, like, I just love the warmth so much. How do I get around? I drive. I learned to drive here when I was 17, and now here I am again driving around, and actually I like being in control of the car. Somebody said, what is the one thing you enjoy here that's exactly how you imagined it would be? And that is definitely like my relaxing time. So we have one day off a week where we either go to the beach or go to the pool and just chill. And I pretty much never really did that when I was in Scotland. I worked almost every day and it was like not good for the kids because they didn't get to see me that much. Whereas here, I take a day off, I don't look at my phone, I maybe go to the beach, and it's so nice, that like quality family time. And also, just like being able to go outside and have the warmth, like that's exactly how I expected it to be. I'd say the whole thing is pretty much how I expected it to be. I'm really happy that I can be here, as I've said before. And yeah, there's no surprises. Let me just put it that way. Somebody also said, do I have concerns about leaving aging parents? So my mum is actually here with us, and my dad, I'm sure, will come around soon. I'm not like just abandoning my parents. Like, they can both be here and they can live with me if they want to as well. So, you know, I'm very welcoming to my parents with open arms. If they want to, you know, be with me, they can be. And my mom is here with me at the moment, which I am so grateful for. I think that's one thing that has really made this whole experience really seamless for me and the kids, because she's there to help me with the kids and I have no concerns or like worries. You know, if I had to like employ a nanny to look after my kids, there would have been like a period of them meeting them, you know, trying to get to know them, and I probably would have felt uneasy leaving them. But yeah, because my mom's here, it makes everything like so easy for me. So I'm very grateful to her. What's the approximate cost of good Wi-Fi? So I pay 400 cedis per month, and that is approximately, is it like $80? Something like that, I'll figure it out. But the internet is perfect. Honestly, it's better than the internet that I had in Scotland. And that was one of my main concerns, because I mean, I do a job which is pretty much online. And also I have a lot of calls. Sometimes I do speaking gigs and I have to have good internet. So yeah, that is how much I pay. It's about 400 cedis per month, and it's great. And it takes me all the way through the month, and I use a lot of data. My son plays games, so he uses a lot of data. Our husband's on it, you know, so like we're not like scrimping with the data. Tips to make it easier to move with your kids. I think for me it was like involving them in the process. So I asked my kids, when do you want to move? Do you want to move in 3 months, or do you want to move in the next school year? Do you want to finish the school year here in Scotland and then start after the summer? And they both wanted to move like as soon as possible. So I think for me that made it easier that they've kind of helped with that decision. But that's not to say that there's not going to be bumps in the road, and that, you know, they're kids, they're going to potentially say things that might be sad. But my son wrote me a letter the other day, and it said like, thank you so much, Mum. I feel like I could like cry. It was like, thank you so much, Mum, for you know, taking me to such an amazing school and for taking me here. So I think it's definitely going to pay off, and it will be such a great experience for them and a life, you know, a great place to, you know, like to flourish in themselves. Do I have somebody that helps in the house? Yes, I have somebody that helps clean, and I had a cleaner in Scotland as well. Not actually laterally, but like at some point when I was in Scotland, I had a cleaner. Also when I lived in London, I had a cleaner. So that is pretty much, you know, what we have here as well. Somebody said, silly question, but how do you wash your clothes? Do we have a washing machine? Yes, we do have a washing machine. And then we dry the clothes outside, and they dry so quickly, literally because it's so hot. Clothes dry in about 2.5 hours, which is like unbelievable. If you left clothes outside in Scotland, it would probably take more than a day. Thank you so much everybody for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed me answering some of your Q&A questions. And if you do have any more, please do put them in the comment section. And I am just so happy to be here. It is like a dream come true to me. You know, it was in the making for a long time. And so yeah, thank you all as well for helping to make it happen by watching these YouTube videos, because without my channel, you know, I probably wouldn't have had a stream to really make this happen. So I really, really am thankful to you all. See you later. Bye.